कर्णयोर्मे चक्षुरस्तु ॐ कर्णयोर्मे श्रोत्रमस्तु ॐ बाहोर्मे बलमस्तु ॐ ऊर्वोर्मा ओजोस्तु ॐ अरिष्टानि मे अङ्गानि तनुस्तन्वा मे सह सन्तु ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वद्यौरिव भूम्ना पृथिवीव वरुणा तस्यास्ते पृथिवी देवयजनी पृष्ठे अग्निमन्नादमन्नाद्यायादधे ॐ उद्बुद्ध्य स्वाग्ने प्रतिजागृहि त्वमिष्टापूर्ते संसृजेतामयं च अस्मिन् सदस्ते अध्युत्तरस्मिन् विश्वे देवा यजमानश्च सीदत ॐ अयन्त इद्मा आत्मा जातवेदस्तेनेध्यस्व वर्धस्व चेदवर्धय शास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नानाधेन समेधय स्वाहा इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्न मम ॐ समिधाग्निं दुवस्यत घृतैर्बोधयतातिथिम् आस्मिन् हव्या जुहोतना ॐ सुसमिद्धाय शोचिषे घृतं तीव्रं जुहोतना अग्नये जातवेदसे स्वाहा इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदं न मम ॐ तन्त्वा समिद्भिरङ्गिरो घृतेन वर्धयामसि बृहच्छोचाय विश्य स्वाहा इदमग्नये अङ्गिरसे इदं न मम ॐ अयन्त इद्मा आत्मा जातवेदस्तेनेध्यस्व वर्धस्व चेदवर्धय शास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नानाधेन समेधय स्वाहा इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदं न मम ॐ अयन्त इद्मा आत्मा जातवेदस्तेनेध्यस्व वर्धस्व चेदवर्धय शास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नानाधेन समेधय स्वाहा इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदं न मम ॐ अयन्त इद्मा आत्मा जातवेदस्तेनेध्यस्व वर्धस्व चेदवर्धय शास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नानाधेन समेधय स्वाहा इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदं न मम ॐ अयन्त इद्मा आत्मा जातवेदस्तेनेध्यस्व वर्धस्व चेदवर्धय शास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नानाधेन समेधय स्वाहा इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदं न मम ॐ अयन्त इद्मा आत्मा जातवेदस्तेनेध्यस्व वर्धस्व चेदवर्धय शास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नानाधेन समेधय स्वाहा इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदं न मम ॐ अदिते अनुमन्यस्व दिव्यो गन्धर्वः केतपुकेतन्नः पुनातु वाचस्पतिर्वाचं नः स्वदतु। ॐ अग्नये स्वाहा इदमग्नये इदन्नमम। ॐ सोमाय स्वाहा इदं सोमाय इदन्नमम। ॐ प्रजापतये स्वाहा इदं प्रजापतये इदन्नमम। ॐ इन्द्राय स्वाहा इदमिन्द्राय इदन्नमम। ॐ यदस्य कर्मणोऽत्यरीरिचं यद्वा न्यूनमिहाकरम् अग्निष्टत्स्विष्टकृद्विद्यात् सर्वं स्विष्टं सुहृतं करोतु मे। अग्नये स्विष्टकृते सुहृदहुते सर्वप्रायश्चित्ताहुतीनाम् कामानां समर्थयित्रे सर्वानः कामान् समर्थय स्वाहा। इदमग्नये स्विष्टकृते इदन्नमम। ॐ स्वाहा इदं प्रजापतये इदन्नमम। ॐ सूर्यो ज्योतिर्ज्योतिः सूर्यः स्वाहा। ॐ सूर्यो वर्चो ज्योतिर्वर्चः स्वाहा। ॐ ज्योतिः सूर्यः सूर्यो ज्योतिः स्वाहा। ॐ सजुर्देवेन सवित्रा सजुरुषसेन्द्रवत्या जुषानः सूर्यो वेतु स्वाहा। ॐ अग्निर्ज्योतिर्ज्योतिरग्निः स्वाहा। ॐ अग्निर्वर्चो ज्योतिर्वर्चः स्वाहा। ॐ स्वाहा। ॐ सजुर्देवेन सवित्रा सजुरातेन्द्रवत्या जुषाणो अग्निर्वेतु स्वाहा। ॐ भूरग्नये प्राणाय स्वाहा इदमग्नये प्राणाय इदन्नमम। ॐ भूर्वायवे अपानाय स्वाहा इदं वायवे अपानाय इदन्नमम। ॐ स्वरादित्याय व्यानाय स्वाहा इदमादित्याय व्यानाय इदन्नमम। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वरग्निवायवादितेभ्यः प्राणापानव्यानेभ्यः स्वाहा। इदमग्निवायवादितेभ्यः प्राणापानव्यानेभ्यः इदन्नमम। ॐ आपो ज्योतिरसोऽमृतं ब्रह्म भूर्भुवस्वरो स्वाहा। ॐ या मेधां देवगणाः पितरश्चोपासते तया मामद्य मेधयाग्ने मेधाविनं कुरु स्वाहा। ॐ विश्वानि देव सवितर्दुरितानि परासुव यद्भद्रं तन्न आसुव स्वाहा। ॐ अग्नेन यसुपथाराये अस्मान् विश्वानि देव वयुनानि विद्वान् युयोध्यस्मज्जुहुरानमेनो भूयिष्ठान्ते नम उक्तिं विधेम स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् स्वाहा ॐ नमः शम्भवाय च मयोभवाय च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च ॐ सर्वं वै पूर्णं स्वाहा ॐ सर्वं वै पूर्णं स्वाहा ॐ सर्वं वै पूर्णं स्वाहा ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ वसोपवित्रमसि शतधारम् वसोपवित्रमसि सहस्रधारम् देवस्त्वा सविता पुनातु वसोपवित्रेण शतधारेण सुप्त्वा कामधुक्षः स्वाहा ॐ तेजोऽसि तेजोमयि देहि ॐ वीर्यमसि वीर्यं मयि देहि ॐ बलमसि बलं मयि देहि ॐ ओजोऽसि ओजो मयि देहि ॐ मन्युरसि मन्युं मयि देहि ॐ सहोऽसि सहो मयि देहि ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः यज्ञरूप प्रभोऽहम् दीजिए। छोड़ देवे छल कपट को मानसिक बल दीजिए। वेद की बोले ऋचाए सत्य को धारण करे। हर्ष में हो मग्न सारे शोक सागर से तरे। अश्वमेधाधिक रचाए यज्ञ पर उपकार को। धर्म मर्यादा चला कर लाभ दे संसार को। नित्य श्रद्धा भक्ति से यज्ञादि हम करते रहे। रोग पीड़ित विश्व के संताप सब हरते रहे। भावना मिट जाए मन से पाप अत्याचार की। कामनाएं पूर्ण होवे यज्ञ से नर नार की। लाभकारी हो हवन हर जीवधारी के लिए। वायु जल सर्वत्र हो शुभ गंध को धारण किए। स्वार्थ भाव मिटे हमारा प्रेम पथ विस्तार हो। इदन मम का सार्थक प्रत्येक में व्यवहार हो। हाथ जोड़ झुकाए मस्तक वंदना हम कर रहे। नाथ करुणा रूप करुणा आपकी सब पर रहे। हाथ जोड़ झुकाए मस्तक वंदना हम कर रहे। नाथ करुणा रूप करुणा आपकी सब पर रहे। पूजनीय प्रभु हमारे भाव उज्जवल कीजिए। छोड़ देवे छल कपट को मानसिक बल दीजिए। प्रभु मानसिक बल दीजिए।
Thank you, everybody. That was indeed a divine rendition. We now request our esteemed chief guest, guests of honor, and other dignitaries to move towards the open area in front of the lobby for unveiling of the bust of Swami Dayanand Saraswati. Others, we humbly request you to stay wherever you are. Just turn around and witness this historic moment. forward to describe this divine moment. We consider ourselves truly blessed to have been around at this historic moment. We pray that Swamiji continues to shower his blessings on all of us. It's now time to move to the tent area for the official program, which will start in about 15 minutes' time. We request the dignitaries to take their respective places on the dais and the other guests over to the main tent. En route the tent area, kindly have your refreshments. There are 6 refreshment counters in total. 2 in front of this building and 4 near the tent. Thank you. We meet in another 15 minutes' time in the tent. Thank you all.
Except the current staff, our present teachers, rest everybody else. We humbly request you to come forward and occupy the seats at the front. All current teachers, present teachers, stay at the back. We request other esteemed guests, our special invitees to come forward. It's your day. We would love to see you in the first 10 rows. Please come forward. Barring the present teachers, the rest, everybody is humbly requested to come forward and occupy the first 10 rows of chairs. We are about to commence the official program. We request Sheshadri sir, Principal, DAV Metric, Trichy, to come onto the stage. Sheshadri sir, we are waiting for you on the dais. Principal, Metric, Higher Secondary School, Trichy. Sheshadri sir, can you come over to the dais, please? Thank you. Venkatwardhan ji, we also are waiting for you. Please come over to the dais. Thank you. Now we are ready for the official program. DAV Group has completed more than 50 years of yeoman service in the field of education. Today, as we forge ahead into times of changes and challenges, striding majestically towards greater milestones, it is time to thank Almighty Lord for His guidance and also seek His blessings for the years to come for greater victories. Request you all to rise for the prayer song to be rendered by our students from DAV Girls Senior Secondary School, Mogappair. सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय
அருள் காட்ட வேண்டும் இறைவா அருள் காட்ட வேண்டும் இறைவா உருவாகும் உயிர் தோறும் நேர்பவனியே உயிரில்லா பொருளுக்கும் உரியவனியே அருள் காட்ட வேண்டும் இறைவா அருள் காட்ட வேண்டும் இறைவா யாழாக எமை எடுத்து மீட்டு வாழ்வையாதென்று விளங்கவே நீ இசைத்து காட்டு வாழார பாதையை விளக்கியம் பாதங்கள் அறப்பாதையில் நடக்க பழக்கு அருள் காட்ட வேண்டும் இறைவா அருள் காட்ட வேண்டும் இறைவா ஆன்மாவில் சுடரேற்றவாவா சற்றும் ஆகார இருள் வெல்ல நம்பிக்கை நீதா பூரங்கள் இல்லாத ஞானம் நல்ல ஒழுக்கங்கள் செய்கைகள் நீ நல்க வேண்டும் அருள் காட்ட வேண்டும் இறைவா அருள் காட்ட வேண்டும் இறைவா.
Thank you, children. Kindly resume your seats, everybody. We are here to celebrate 50 plus years of glorious achievements of DAV Group of Schools. All this has been possible by the sweat and toil, the dedication and diligence of DAV family, past and present. I deem it my proud privilege and honor to request Srimati Shanti Ashokan, Director, Education and Innovation, DAV Group of Schools, Chennai, to welcome the gathering. Over to you, ma'am.
As we cross a milestone, the next milestone is waiting for. And these milestones remind us of a journey that still needs a marching forward. Now we go on diligently, silently to our destination. Namaste. Namaste to everyone. On behalf of the DAV management and DAV Group of Schools, I deem it a great honor and pleasure to welcome the entire DAV family to the Golden Jubilee celebration of DAV Group of Schools at our new campus, DAV Pallikarnai. I am extremely privileged to welcome our chief guest of the evening, Shri S.K. Aryaji, Chairman, JBM Group. Sir, hearty welcome to you. I deem it a great pleasure to also welcome the distinguished guests of honor for the August occasion. We have amidst us Shri Suresh Chandra Agarwal ji, President of Sarvadeshik Arya Pratinidhi Sabha, Shri Vinay Arya ji, General Secretary of Delhi Arya Pratinidhi Sabha, Acharya Vacho Nidhi ji, Joint Secretary, Sarvadeshik Arya Pratinidhi Sabha, Shri Prakash Arya ji, General Secretary of Madhya Bharat Arya Pratinidhi Sabha, and Shri Gagandeep Singh Bedi ji, Principal Secretary and Commissioner of Corporation, who will join us in some time. On behalf of the entire DAV family, I extend a warm welcome to all the guests of honor. Welcome you all. In addition to the dignitaries on stage, we are immensely delighted to have in our midst guests joining us from all over the country and the renowned members of Arya Samaj in Kolkata and Bengaluru, as well as prominent Vedic institutes, namely Darshan Yog Mahavidyalaya Rojat, Shantidam Bengaluru, Veda Gurukulam, Karal Manna Kerala, MDH Veda Research Foundation Kozhikode. Hearty welcome to all our guests. I extend a warm welcome to all the senior governing board members of Tamil Nadu Arya Samaj Educational Society and the executive members of Arya Samaj Foundation. They are great pillars of support in all our endeavors. Welcome you all. I am extremely delighted to extend a warm welcome to the executive team of DAV Group of Schools, including consultants and principals of the 11 branches, Chennai, Ranipet, Puducherry and Trichy. Welcome everyone. A heartfelt welcome to all the heads of associate schools across Tamil Nadu, with whom we have been associated for the past 1.5 years. And it is in fact a unique journey of hand-holding to give academic inputs and learn from them mutually in the process. A hospitable welcome to all the special invitees, academicians of city schools, and all our well-wishers who have accepted our invitation and graced the occasion. A red carpet welcome to all the former teachers of DAV Group of Schools. I would proudly say that this institution has spread its branches and touched great heights due to the relentless efforts and commendable contribution of all the former and present staff members. I salute each one of them present here and extend a special welcome to all our staff members. I also welcome all the family members of the present staff, both teaching and non-teaching. We at DAV really feel proud to have a large network of alumni community. Their presence has definitely added more color to the occasion, and we look forward to remain connected with them in future as we keep expanding. We also welcome all our parents who have joined us both physically and virtually, and of course all my 30,000 children. Welcome you all. With a humble beginning in 1970, the seeds of DAV movement were sown in Chennai by dedicated visionaries, supported by a large community of well-wishers. My heart brims with boundless joy to witness the dream of our visionaries, late Sri Jaydev ji and late Sri Ramkalya ji, being materialized into reality. Keeping on par with their vision, the DAV Group Schools has been persistently offering high quality, affordable and value-based education, encouraging a sense of team spirit, individual effort and accomplishments. With 50 years of legacy and experience, the organization has continued to flourish and impart highest levels of moral excellence, which stands as a testimony for all perseverance of teachers and students alike. I once again welcome you all to this stupendous Golden Jubilee celebration of DAV Group of Schools that will go down in the history, adding to yet another milestone in our legacy. Welcome, welcome, welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for those warm words of felicitation. Words truly fall short to express our deepest heartfelt gratitude for all those building blocks whose unconditional support and guidance have built the brand DAV.
It's time to felicitate them, and we request the governing body members to hand over the mementos to our chief guest, guests of honor, and all special invitees. And to do the honor, I hand over the mic to Shri Piyush Aryaji, Secretary, Arya Samaj Chennai, and member, DAV Governing Board. Please, sir.
Namaste to all. It indeed is a great privilege for me to be participating in this occasion and standing over here. And with such an august gathering, both on stage and off the stage. Without too much ado, I get down to what has been assigned to me, which is to quickly introduce the guests one by one and invite distinguished members of our governing body to hand over a small memento as a token of our gratitude and appreciation for them having spared their time and come from all over the country to participate with us in this celebration. So first, I would invite Shri Vinay Parekh ji, who is the President of the DAV Governing Board, to hand over the memento to our chief guest, Shri S.K. Arya ji. As has already been introduced, Shri S.K. Arya ji is the chairman not just of the JBM Group, which is a top industrial house in the country, but I think a more relevant description of his is that he is involved in numerous social activities, not just involved, leading in numerous social activities, the most prominent of which is a chairman of Akhil Bhartiya, which means All India Dayanand Seva Shram Sangh. So thank you, Vinay ji, for handing over the memento, and thank you, Shri S.K. Arya ji, for being here. Now moving next to do the honors, I request Shri Ravi Malhotra ji, the Managing Trustee, Trust Board, Vice President of the governing body, to hand over the next memento to Suresh Agarwal ji. Suresh Agarwal ji, as again has been mentioned, is the President of the Sarvadeshik Arya Pratinidhi Sabha, which is the apex body of Arya Samaj all over the world. And as you would be aware, DAV is an institution inspired by Swami Dayanand and Arya Samaj, so therefore, it's our privilege today to have him amongst us. Third, key dignitary with us is Acharya Vachonidhi ji, who is the Joint Secretary of the Sarvadeshik Arya Pratinidhi Sabha and DAV Gandhidham. So here I invite Shri Lalit Nangia ji, who is the President of Arya Samaj Chennai and a member of the governing board, to hand him over the memento. Next, I invite Srimati Poonam Anand ji, the Treasurer of the Governing Board, to hand over the memento to Shri Vinay Arya ji. Vinay Arya ji is the General Secretary of the Delhi Arya Pratinidhi Sabha and a very, very important functionary of the Sarvadeshik Arya Pratinidhi Sabha. You must or may have seen him many times participate in TV debates on the behalf of Arya Samaj. So very warm welcome to Vinay Arya ji, and thank you Poonam ji for doing the honors. Next, I invite Joshi ji, again a member of the governing board, to hand over the memento to Shri Prakash Arya ji, who is the General Secretary of the Madhya Bharat Arya Pratinidhi Sabha. Once again, the apex body of all Arya Samajas operating in the central India region, consisting of multiple states. So once again, I would request you to welcome all the dignitaries on the stage with an applause for all of them. Thank you.
Thank you so very, very much. We are indeed honored to have such illuminous and such eminent people on the dais today. We are truly humbled and honored at the same time. We find so many people also standing at the back. We request you to step forward because there are so many vacant chairs that I can see at the front. Please come forward, and there are chairs to be occupied. Thank you all. Today we have all assembled here not only to celebrate 50 plus years of DAV group of schools, but also for the inaugural Havan of our Pallikarnai branch, the latest jewel in our DAV crown. This was the dream project of our founder secretary, Shri Jayadevji, a name that needs certainly no introduction. His immortal words, "My sons and daughters of DAV," ring through every corridor of each and every DAV school. On behalf of all of us assembled here, Shri Venkatwardhanji, senior board member, will pay the tribute to this immortal soul. Please, sir. Venkatwardhanji.
Namaste to one and all, dignitaries on the stage, students, parents, donors, and all the stakeholders of this great institution. It's really a very emotional moment for me to speak about Sri Jayadevji, who has been the backbone of this institution right from the time it started at 1970. There are many aspects of Jayadevji which, there are many aspects of Sri Jayadevji which you can go on and on, but because of the limitation of time, there are a few things I would like to share with you on this august occasion when we are not only celebrating the Golden Jubilee, but also the fact that he has been solely responsible for acquiring this land and dreaming of a great institution to be built on this land, and that has come true. I think we all really owe so much to this man for building this institution, and he really owes a standing ovation, according to me. But for nothing short of it would really fit the memory of this man. And me and many other students who have passed out of this school, great institution, can never forget the human services rendered by Jayadevji. See, one of the important things which I would like to share at this moment, which I felt a little disturbing and which has been forgotten, is the fact that Jayadevji, being a true Arya Samajist, never ever considered a divide between the north and the south, or between a Rajasthani or a Punjabi, or between a Tamilian or a Maharashtrian. So unfortunately, the kind of things that have happened in the recent past and even earlier when Jayadevji passed away, created a lot of unrest in the minds of people who have been very closely associated with him like me. You wouldn't believe, my memory goes back to 96, 97, when myself, Jayadevji and Ramkalia ji visited this place when there was hardly anything here and access to this place was so difficult. So the dream of Jayadevji starting this buying this place and starting the institution started from then. And he had great hopes of completing this even during his lifetime, but for various reasons it could not be done. But I don't think there is any difficulty in recognizing the fact that it is his spirit and his blessings which have enabled all of us to see this kind of a school come up in this place. So one important, as I said, he as a person who has been heading this institution never had any kind of differences when it came to treating people, and the equality with which he treated people, whether it is X, Y or Z, whether it's a watchman or it's a staff or a teacher, he always treated them equally, and he was such a father figure for all of us that one is really thankful that we have had such a wonderful human being who have given us this great institution. As I said, many things can go on, and I have had the special privilege of talking to this great soul on a day-to-day basis when he was growing old. And I'm very sorry to say that there are many people were trying to exploit his old age, his weakness and all that. But the man stood firm when it came to administration of the school. No concessions shown, and then principals came above everything. So I have had an interaction with this person on a day-to-day basis. Daily he will talk to me for almost an hour, expressing his concerns and grievances about various things that were happening in the schools, many things that need to be improved. So I've had a and he treated me like a son. He has, I've had very personal moments with him which I will not be able to share everything on this stage now because of want of time. So let's all, cherish the memory of this man who has been singularly responsible. I would say not that there are other stakeholders also, but he has been the leader of the team who has ensured that this institution has come up so well. So in a fitting memory to this man, we as students, as alumni of this institution thought we will read out a good citation and it will be received by the member of the Jayadevji's family, namely my friend and my very, very close friend, Sri Rajiv Chaudhary, and it will be handed over by Sri S.K. Aryaji. I would request the citation to be read. I'll read the citation. So it is a commemoration of or the heartful emotions that all of us have for Sri Jayadevji. Let me read out the citation and then it will be handed over. A tribute to our beloved Jayadevji. This is the kind of citation we have. So, 18 July 1926 to 3rd September 2016, Founder Secretary, DAV Group of Schools, Chennai. Dear Jayadevji, so this is I'm sure his spirit is listening to all this. You are no longer with us, but the dream that had kept you going, the seeds that you have sown, and the garden that you had nurtured selflessly all your life, continues to grow and reach newer heights with the same spirit with which you had begun this journey. Today is especially poignant for us as your wish and prayer for a school at Pallikarnai has been fulfilled. So here we are. When it does not touch you, why would we create this tribute in your memory on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the school? Question mark. It is simply to remind ourselves of the many ways in which you have touched our lives and to pray that we too can live by those eternal values that you stood for. To every role in your life, you gave it your all. See, we are covering every aspect. 1. As a founder secretary, from going door to door collecting funds and enrolling students, you passionately advocated the importance of value-based education for an uninterrupted 47 years in this honorary role until you breathed your last. A true karma yogi till the end. Next, the next facet of Jayadevji, as an Arya Samaji, you adhered strictly to the spiritual principles that you were taught right from your early life at Swami Sardhanandaji's Gurukul, Kangri. Today, we have reached here standing on your shoulders, and we hope that when our time comes, we can also offer the strength of our shoulders with humility. As a Vedic scholar, next aspect, your devotion and knowledge were only surpassed by your desire to share it with the world through your spellbinding discourses. Dharma protects those who protect Dharma. Dharmosu rakshati rakshitaha. Every time we are at crossroads, we will remember how to stand upright with head high and fearlessly, just as you taught us. Then, next as a Pandit, the samskars you conducted were always made meaningful for all involved, whether it was the humorous advice during weddings or your comforting spiritual wisdom in less auspicious times. Next, as a social worker, serving society selflessly was the ambrosia of life that kept you young and energetic. Your ability to reach out to the weakest showed us that humility is the strength that has no parallel. When it was personally distributing relief funds during the Gujarat earthquake, or getting an entire village built for tsunami victims at Kaipanikuppam, you rushed immediately to help. We hope and pray that every time we feel exhausted, we draw our energy and inspiration from your deeds. Next, as a family man, your discipline was perfectly balanced with unconditional love. You have been a kind father figure and trustworthy guide to all of us, and above all, a truly loving, compassionate human being. When organizations thrive long enough to celebrate golden jubilees, seldom are the founders present to see it. Hence, golden jubilees are a celebration not only of meaningful purpose and successful growth, but also of continuance and moving forward. We hope to keep the spirit of celebration alive to pass this for the centenary celebrations. Never is the purpose of Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya going to cease, and we hope never will DAV Chennai pass in pursuing this purpose. And you, as one of the founding pillars of our institution, will continue to stay alive with every blossoming flower in this ever-expanding garden of DAV. From your loving DAV family, 19th June 2022. May I now request the Chief Guest, Sri S.K. Arya ji, to hand over the citation as a mark of our recognition of the service of Jayadeva to the member of Jayadev's family, Sri Rajiv Chaudhary.
Thank you, everybody. I know every throat is choked and every eye moist now. So is mine. But the show must go on. Every milestone is not merely an occasion to cherish, but also a time to look back and reflect. We now request Shri Vikas Arya ji, Secretary, DAV Group of Schools, Chennai, to take us through this momentous journey of DAV, titled DAV, A Walkthrough. Sir, the stage is all yours.
Thank you.
Respected Chief Guest of the evening, Shri S.K. Arya ji, other guests of honor, the governing body members of Tamil Nadu Arya Samaj Education Society, the executive committee members of Arya Samaj, former teachers, current teachers, supporting staff, special invitees, associate schools, the list goes on. It's lovely to see all of you present out here on this solemn occasion. My warm namaste to all of you. Today, over the next few minutes, I will lead you to the journey that this institution has taken over the last 50 years, the road that we traveled and the road that will possibly take from here on. So 2 parts to my presentation. The road that we have traveled in the last 50 years and the road we will take from here on. These 2 aspects I'll cover over the next few minutes. A quick intro first. The DAV as a movement was born in the year 1886 in Lahore in Pakistan, inspired by the Arya Samaj, post the demise of Swami Dayananda Saraswati. In 1771, DAV was established in Chennai by a few visionaries.
Today, we serve cumulatively 40,000 young minds through 24 schools, a mix of owned, managed, and associate schools. My dear audience, today, apart from these Golden Jubilee celebrations, we also celebrate the inaugural Agnihotra at this particular place in Palikarnai. This school has been built over 2 lakh square feet and will be able to serve 5,000 students. In this first year, I would say as a matter of pride that in the very first year, while the school was still under construction, we opened our admissions in the month of October 2021, and we were wondering whether we need to put up any ads, any hoardings, and we're indeed also planning for that. But the moment we opened our admissions the month of October, it's a matter of great pride and satisfaction that we got about 6,000 odd applications, of which we could accommodate about 2,500 applications for classes LKG till class 7. Next year onwards, we will take the school from class 8 till class 11 and then class 12. I think this fact bears true testimony to the brand that DAV has built over the last 50 years, thanks to primarily its teachers. Land and building infrastructure is no great differentiation. N number of schools have that, but what truly differentiates DAV is proudly our former teachers and our current teachers. I also on this occasion pay my humble pranams to Maharshi Dayanand Saraswati ji, a great guru, a great social reformer, and I'm so happy and glad that we as a team could for the first time in our history of 50 years have a small bust installed at the DAV Palikarnai campus in his fond memory. Next slide. Moving on, what does DAV stand for? Next slide. What really defines DAV? To my mind, it is 3 key words: high quality, value-based, and affordable education. We are known for our academic excellence. That's no great secret. 4 of our schools are consistently ranked amongst the top 20 in the country since last many decades. But if you were to ask me, what's the best thing I like about DAV as an alumnus, as a student, and now as a management member, I think it's our ability to cater to different stratas of society. Right, children, we have children of senior IAS officers, senior judges, but we also have children of maids, drivers, and multiple families at a very different end of the spectrum. And this, to my mind, is what DAV truly calls, in some sense, inclusive education. DAV also greatly focuses on the Vedic philosophy. Agnihotra as an absolutely integral part of this of DAV. Moving on, if I were to once again help you understand, just go next slide. DAV at 50, I would say we are running into version 2.0. The founding team from 1970-71 took this particular institution, led by Sri Jaydev ji, until 2015 and 16. And post that, the baton was passed over. And we are proud to now take this DAV ahead in the last 5-6 years, which we proudly call as version 2.0. I will cover these 4 key verticals out here. Academic excellence, I would not cover much. I'll just breeze through these slides. So our board exam results continue to do extremely well. Our results in GAE main and advanced, the key competitive exams, are also good, can definitely get better. Our NEET 2021 results, pretty good. Indeed, the state top mark of 710 out of 720 was from one of our DAV campuses. We are providing JEE and NEET coaching on campus. And over the last few years, an interesting thing that we developed is our PROG exam. This PROG exam is the in-house equivalent of the Olympiad exam. Today, if you look at the way education is evolving, post-class 12, you need to write competitive exams. And we are proud to announce that the last 1.5, 2 years, we are having these competitive exams right from classes 6 to 10. And this has evolved pretty well. I will not get into micro details today, given the paucity of time, but I'll quickly broadly highlight some of the key initiatives that we have taken over the last few years. Moving on, we launched the NIOS, the National Institute of Open Schooling, especially after Dr. Ravi, who joined us who was previously the regional director of NIOS. So this greatly provides flexibility or rather customization in the space of education. Also, we have inclusive education at Gilnagar branch, and this is something that we feel deeply satisfied about. The special children, while schools like us have been trying, we try and accommodate to a small extent here and there, but truly I think in the year 2021, we launched inclusive education at Gilnagar, wherein we have special children. And I think those children need to be really served because they are truly special. So we have proper special educators, we have speech therapists, occupational therapists, and this is the second year it's running. We right now have 44 students. It is not a special school, it's an inclusive school. So where the special children, to the extent possible, we try and mingle them with the other regular children at our Gilnagar branch. Moving on, the second key vertical is holistic education, Indic culture and Vedic values. And this part is something just very, very important aspect of defining DAV. Namaste. Go on a road, in a Chennai road, and if you find someone coming up to you, and especially a lot of our staff members, former staff members, I'm sure you can vouch for it. If you have someone who comes over to you and says Namaste, I think you can guess that that person is from DAV. Moving on, we in our institutions have recently made this change wherein we call the teachers as Acharya. It's a word that carries a lot of gravitas compared to ma'am or miss, etc. Also, we keep improving. So this year onwards, we got this idea indeed from one of our associate schools. We know when we were, and I'll come to that in a little while. So we keep learning and improving. So we got this idea that during school attendance, instead of child just saying, yes ma'am, present ma'am, yes miss, the child can say Jai Hind. Let's remember that culture of an institution is not built by one big thing. It is 100 small things that you do, and if when put them together, it builds a culture of the institution. As I mentioned, Agnihotra is an integral part of DAV. I would not dwell into that. But what's interesting is the next slide, wherein we are encouraging children that in the evenings on their birthdays, they can go and cut the cake if they want. That's not really Indian culture, but rather come to the school in the evening, post your official school hours, and perform Agnihotra at the school premises with your parents, with your grandparents, and take their blessings. That is true celebration of their birthdays. We also have the Vedic mantra chanting competition every year for the last 6 years in memory of Sri Jayadevji. And what's interesting is that they don't just chant only the mantras. They also learn the meaning or the gist of the mantras. They also quote as to this mantra from Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, which chapter, which sukta. So this Vedic mantra chanting competition is a hugely successful program launched over the last few years. We also have guided meditation to the school PA system that does pretty well. We also have this project Prerna, wherein very nicely defined posters are put up in the school premises for children to gain inspiration from. And goes to next slide. Then we also try and have children learn to serve and serve with humility, called the Shushusha program. So students, as you can look at some of these pictures, students visit Goshalas, visit old age homes, visit orphanages, and they learn to serve. We also at the institution have the Vedic mathematics program, and we also focus on the NCC and Scouts and Guides. On Vedic mathematics, I must say, having finished my education at the school level, graduation, post-graduation level, I sometimes really wonder as to why has our education system not ever introduced us to our Vedic mathematics. It's just simply not there in the schools. So last year, we had all our teachers, 40-odd teachers, mathematics teachers, undergo a program, an online program, to learn and understand this Vedic mathematics, and now that's implemented as part of the curriculum. It is not just an additional after-school program that we now have. We have also designed a curriculum for spiritual learning. My dear audience, it is sad that if you look at Sanatan Dharma, look at Hinduism, it's more loose, but look at Sanatan Dharma, there is no proper structure, no proper designed curriculum to actually help our children understand Vedic Dharma. Here and there we tell them something, but there's no proper structured curriculum. That's something which we put in place during COVID times. We did this in an online mode with over 1,000 children. At DAV, we also coach children for a National Defense Academy exam and hands-on, and even coach them in hands-on training. Next slide. DAV, if you ask an average person, will possibly, when you say the word DAV, I think you relate only to academics. But my dear audience, I'm proud to say, over the last few years, that perception is changing very quickly. So sports is being given a lot of importance. Indeed, we have a separate dedicated department called the Krida Kendram. It's a sports academy which caters both to DAV and to non-DAV children. Also, we have a career guidance program for children that's doing extremely well. It is done in the online mode, both once again for DAV and non-DAV children. So if I was to sum up this particular section, what we try and imbibe in our children is the concept of Panchamahayajya. So it's not just only Havan, it's not just only Agnihotra, but it is the Panchamahayajya, which is the true form, that's the true the 5 everyday duties that every human being should follow in their daily lives. And this is true dharma, this is true worship, and this comprises of Brahma Yajya, meditation, Deva Yajya, Agnihotra, Pitra Yajya, respecting your elders, Atiti Yajya, and the Baliveshda Yajya, taking care of animals around you. So moving to the next section, I know I'm slightly running out of time, but I guess I will carry on. So overall, if you look at schools, they pretty much start off with some land, building, and run their own schools. What we have done in the last 5 decades, and it started off with we managing schools for external institutions. So we do manage 3 schools for BHEL, and I'll come to that. Before that, we also kind of have this associate school program. During the course of the evening, you will get to learn more about it. We have 11 associate schools in 11 different districts of Tamil Nadu. This Mailaduturai, Madurai, Karur, Trichy, Salem, Kalakurchi, Tirupur, Coimbatore, Gopichettipalayam, Chengalpattu, and Vellore. So DAV has presence today in these 11 districts through our associate schools. As I mentioned, we also manage schools. Over here, I wish to especially highlight that BHEL Trichy, we have been managing for the last 40 years. And this year, in April 2022, we took over the management of RSK Trichy and BHEL Matriculation School with a cumulative strength of 11,000 children. So active management, if you look at, last year we were managing about 16,000 kids directly. This year, we almost manage 30,000 kids in this particular academic year. And to the associate schools, another 10,000 children, and that takes it to a 40,000 number. We also have the e-Shiksha, wherein we are recording content for classes 6 to 12, recorded by our own teachers. You'll also get to know more about it. We also have a very active in-house publication division, which is again doing extremely well. You will get to know about it as we go through the program. We also have a Prajya monthly news magazine for children. And we also have teacher training for classes nursery to class 10. Once again, a very, very important flagship program. Teachers' months is a national crisis. Today, government can pass a bill and make some changes overnight. But today, the quality of teachers in this country is what will build the citizens of tomorrow. We have 1 crore teachers, school teachers in this country. Extremely important that teacher training is given immense importance, and that's what we've been doing at DAV over the last few years. We also have the DAV School of Public Policy. I will skip that. Something which, we try and ensure that general public is, we have this series of lectures helping common public understand key policy issues. I'll come to the Vedic Gurukulam. So in December 2021, we set up this Vedic Gurukulam with about 25 brahmacharis, and that's something which we truly believe is a feather in our cap. We will skip to the next slides. Social outreach. We have this program called the Gyan Pravaha program, flow of knowledge, wherein we are using our current infrastructure, our current schools at Gopalapuram, and now we will include at Mogapper and Palikarnai as well, wherein in the evening, post the schooling hours, we provide after-school program for children from the disadvantaged backgrounds, and hopefully this will move into a parallel school fairly soon. We'll move in a couple of slides, just to give you a quick sense. We have the Prashasti Medical Guidance Initiative. Once again, it's a unique step in the health space, which we have taken over the last few years. We also have the COVID Samrakshan program. I will skip that in the interest of time, but just thought it's good at least for you to take a quick glimpse out there. We also support Ticklings, and we've done 2 government-aided schools in Vyasarpadi and Saukarpet. Now quickly I'll come as to what's beyond. That's the road traveled in the last 50 years, some additional acceleration from 2016 onwards, and where do we see ourselves going ahead? My dear audience, I'm convinced our best is yet to come. So 2 key programs that we have in the offing are the launch of the Vedic Vidya Kendra, which is an ashram cum Gurukul in Pondicherry, which is being launched tomorrow in Pondicherry. We also have the certificate in commerce and entrepreneurial skills. My dear audience, this is our first small step into the higher education space, which we are taking from this particular academic year onwards. I will not get into details of it, but there's something that hopefully will be quite interesting as we go along. So going ahead, while we've been in the education space for many, many years, we truly believe that it is time to expand our wings beyond education. So going forward, we already have some small step in the health space, Prashasti, which I briefly spoke about, but going forward, health, education, environment, animal welfare, and livelihood are the areas that you will find us going ahead. But the model we intend to adopt, next slide, is that we intend to leverage existing infrastructure to create social impact. My dear audience, if you look at the last 20, 30 years, thanks to our economy, lot of infra has been created. Lot of buildings have been put up, but today the challenge is to actually put the right human resources to manage the social assets. And that is something that we intend to focus on. So we intend to be more process-driven, system-driven, people-driven, knowledge-driven, but with a social mindset. And that's where you will see DAV as we go ahead. So that brings my brief talk to an end. But before that, I would definitely like to pay some gratitude. My first gratitude for this journey of ours goes to Almighty, without whom, obviously, this entire journey the last 50 years is absolutely impossible. I'd also like to profusely thank our founders and donors. We spoke about Shri Jaydev ji, but so many other of founders, Shri Ram Kalia ji, Shri Balkrishna Joshi ji, Shri Satyadev ji, Shri Lala Indasen ji. Who can forget the smile of Shri Surendra Kumar ji, Shri V.N. Bajaj ji, Shri Balkrishna Goenka ji, Shri D.C. Malhotra ji, Shri S.T. Nangya ji, and numerous others who built this institution brick by brick. I also like to thank all our staff members. This is our current executive team that runs this institution, obviously backed by all our teachers. So I wish to thank them. I also wish to thank governing body members of both DAV and Arya Samaj, our advisory board members. We have these 4 advisory board members as well, and also our alumni across the world. Thank you. Namaste. Jai Hind.
Wow, that's the word that first comes to my mind. It's indeed phenomenal. With a leader like you to lead us from the front, well, sir, the present not only looks rosy, indeed, even our future looks very, very promising. Proud to be part of this great institution. Thank you so very, very much for that in-depth understanding of what and all our institution is doing. Thank you very much. Next, it is time to felicitate the men behind the scene, the real architects of the colossal structure called DAV. DAV salutes every individual who has been instrumental in laying the foundation of the Pallikaranai branch. We request Srimati Radha Subramaniam ji, Principal, DAV Boys Mogaper, to hand over the memento to our architect of DAV School Pallikaranai, Shri Ram Anayak ji. Shri Ram Anayak ji. There he comes. So happy to have you over here, sir. He is the director of FBA Architects. We request Shri M. Karpaya ji, Principal DAV BHEL Trichy, to hand over the memento to Shri Vishwanathan ji, Director Apex Engineer and Associates. He was the chief contractor of our Pallikaranai branch. We request Srimati Chitra Raghavan ji, Principal DAV Boys Gopalapuram, to hand over the memento to the Director of the Pallikaranai project, Shri Manjunath ji and his team, Premanand ji, Ravindran ji, Mohan Kumar ji and Elangovan ji. We have Manjunath ji and his team. It was completed in just 1 year. Amazing. Amazing. And we are all bowled over with this colossal structure. Indeed. Thank you for translating everybody's dream into a reality. Thank you so very, very much. We request Shri Ramanavelan ji, Principal DAV Gil Nagar, to present a memento to Shri Jai Prakash ji, the sculptor of the impressive bust of Swami Dayanand Saraswati. Shri Jai Prakash ji, please. So you know the man who has created that impressive bust of Swami Dayanand Saraswati. Shri Jai Prakash ji. We request Srimati Uma Parvati ji, Principal DAV Girls Mogaper, to hand over the memento to Shri Nanda Kumar ji. In DAV's constant pursuit for excellence, Shri Nanda Kumar ji, our key educational consultant and chief editor of Pragya magazine, has been an integral part. Thanks to his dedication and diligence, that everybody's dream project Pallikarnai branch got a shape and became a reality. We wish to honor him for his perennial support and guidance. Thank you, sir. Next we have Sudha ma'am. One among the first batch of teachers of DAV. Like a banyan tree, she has seen DAV evolving in the last 50 years. She receives the memento as representative of all the teachers, past and present, from Shri S. Balaji, Shri Anup Nangiaji, Treasurer, Arya Samaj, Chennai, and Member Governing Board. Shri Anup Nangiaji is here to felicitate everybody's favorite Sudha ma'am. That's DAV culture. That's the student taking the blessings from the teacher. Sure.
I am Sudha Ratna, retired nursery teacher of DAV Gopalapuram, and I am happy to share my association and experience with DAV. I began my career with DAV as a teacher when Tamil Nadu Arya Samaj helped to establish the DAV school in June 1970 at Gopalapuram, Chennai, under the guidance of founder members Shri Satyadev Ji, President, Shri Jayadev Ji, Secretary, and the first principal, Kulapati Shri S. Balakrishna Joshi. In the inaugural year, the school had begun classes with only 39 students. I am extremely happy that the DAV High School, from a humble beginning, has today grown by leaps and bounds like a banyan tree and has become the prestigious DAV group of schools with many schools in the city as well as in Ranipet, Puducherry, and now at Pallikarnai with latest facilities and infrastructure. I thank the school management of my times, including Shri A.S. Ramkalia Ji, principal of the school, for the opportunity and kind support given to me during my service. I also sincerely wish the current management to take the DAV group to even greater heights in future. I am proud to be a DAVian. Namaste, everybody.
Thank you, ma'am, for those kind words. Your blessings, your best wishes mean a lot to all of us. Thank you so very, very much. T.T. Vardakuti ji, fondly remembered as TTK sir, till this day stands synonymous with just a few hundred sums overnight as home assignment. He is one of the teachers who served DA for the longest period. We request Shri S. Balaji, Chief Operating Officer and also a DA alumnus, to hand over the memento to TTV sir. Oh, everybody, the entire governing body seated on the dais has been his student. Wow. Can we have a standing ovation for this man, please? Thank you so very, very much, sir. Everybody's favorite TTV, sir. Sannapunaktu sahaviryam karvavahe tejasvinavanitamasttu.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. See, my four students, Mr. Raju Chaudhary asked me to bless in 2 lines. Actually, I want to give lot of big speech today. But what all the things I will to talk here, everything told by Mr. Vikas Arya, my beloved student. After 20 years, or 22 years I am coming here and joined with the Devi family. Now, I told Vikas Arya just now, whenever I saw all these things, oh, really, got to this extent, how miracles happen, really, miracles happen. I think so. It is because of one thing I am telling you. First, the Agrihotra. The Agrihotra we are doing sincerely, no. That too, that Gayatri will give you everything in life. Gayatri mantra. The second thing, the founder principal Balakrishna Joshi ji imparted moral values. His blessings on the first day itself, lot of blessings he gave to all the children, everybody here. I remember when I joined here, I saw only one building with thatched sheds. Now so many buildings. That time 40 children, in 1972, I joined the month of July, 40 or 50 students. Now 40,000 students within 50 years. With only 4-5 teachers. Now thousands of teachers. No, really, it is because of the first put by initially Satyadev ji, the next his father Jayadev ji. I don't think so he slept in his life. Throughout life he used to think about the school only. To that extent, as I told just now, door to door they got collection. And also Ram Kalia ji, who imparted discipline in the school. So many cultural programs he conducted to collect the fund. How these buildings have come? All the buildings, there are 10, 11 schools. Because of fund, fund we want for that. See, Ramkalia ji, he worked very hard. Under him, dedicated teachers, and also, I say, students, but not least, parents. Because of these, just like a teamwork, they did, and this school got expansion like this. We have to actually thank God to get this kind of expansion still further. Definitely, I pray God, this institution will grow further, and I wish all the members of this management and other staff, be having good health. Then only they can do better service. So here I was joined as a teacher, but one thing I wish to tell you, I used to do even conductor job in this school. Early morning I used to come to school, and by bus I can go to so many places I went. I brought the children to the school. Again in the evening, I have to drop them in their respective houses like that. Not only me, so many teachers like that, dedicated teachers, dedicated principals, just like our, even Rajesh Chaudhary, I heard indirectly, he did lot of things for the school, and now I am proud of my director, Vikas Chaudhary, because whenever he told, Vikas Arya, okay, I am proud of him, and he gave fantastic speech, and I wish everybody long life. I pray God. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very, very much, sir.
Your blessings mean a lot. That's an emotional connectivity that we all have, those of us who are associated with DAV. We still find some people standing at the back. A humble request to you again. Please come forward. There are so many chairs that can be still occupied by you. Please come forward. Well, as we were talking about emotional connectivity, you can see a very happy audience over here. As DAV knows how to really treat its family members. We are a family, right? You ask any staff member, present or past, they're all happy and certainly proud of their association with DAV. As a token of their love and gratitude, Surya Narayan sir and Balaguru sir from the former staff committee, DAV group of school, will hand over a memento to Shri Atul Nangia ji, Joint Secretary, Governing Board. Even Lalita Chandrasekharan ma'am, we request you to come forward, please. So very happy to see all the faces. Balaguru sir, Surya Narayanan sir, we have literally grown with them. We were just the beginners when they were around, and these were the formidable characters of that time. So happy to see all of them. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, ma'am. We move over to the next segment. The price of greatness is indeed responsibility, and DAV has always been conscious of the deepening impact in the field of education for the benefit of society and nation at large. 3 such flagship programs we wish to highlight. The 3 pearls of wisdom and innovation, we call them. Teachers Training Program, in-house publishing, and associate schools program. In short, teachers is mentoring. Today, we would like to felicitate those teachers, the flag bearers, who have gone beyond their call of duty and given their precious time and expertise towards the cause of education. I now request Srimati Lakshmi Ramesh, Head DAV Sectionam, and Srimati N. Beena, Head Nursery, to enlighten us on PGCE and NTT, the Teachers Training Program. Over to Lakshmi, ma'am.
Namaste. A very good evening to one and all present here. DAV Sikshanam was a seed that was sown in 2017. It was that arm of DAV that would scale transformation of education by training teachers. The gap that was felt between what schools and students need and what is available through other teacher training programs was explored in all dimensions. A core group brainstormed and came up with a program that would ensure practical learning in classrooms and labs, augmented by a series of core subjects. To list a few: inputs on values, technology in education, logical reasoning, identifying students with special needs, first aid, communication skills. The list is ever expanding as we learn. We are happy sharing that we have successfully completed 4 batches of PGCE, Postgraduate Certificate in Education. Before I elaborate further, may I request the PGCE batches of 2020-21 and 2021-22 to assemble on stage. The faculty at Sikshanam are from a spectrum of domains. This team had built an evolving curriculum and content that's challenging and engaging and most relevant to our nation at this state of civilizational transformation. Most of our trainees who appear for B.Ed exams after completing PGCE say that they found it very easy to take those tests with little guidance needed, as PGC had given them enough inputs already. DGS is proud that our placement interviews have only reassured us that our program has the right contents. We are currently seeing grade A schools preferring our trainees for recruitment. Photo. The current PGCE Batch 5 is a redesigned, unique and innovative model with a policy of Earn While You Learn program. It has kick-started in the current year with a stupendous response rate. This model works on our offering an honorarium of rupees 10,000 per month for the 10-month program period to the teacher trainees who will be called PGCE scholars. They will now undergo 3 full days of training on the job at our DAV schools in the city. They can choose the DAV branch nearest to their residence. The next 3 days of the week will be spent in honing up their skills in core and elective subjects at DAV Sikshanam at Gopalapuram. While the 10-month PGC is a flagship program of DAV Sikshanam, the winter vacation of 2021 was used effectively to kickstart a program for school heads, HMs and principals at DGS. The School Leadership Program, SLP, focused on designing and nature of imparting education, challenges, policy, leadership and management skills, culture development and so on. It is along the lines of the management development programs offered by Premier Management and B schools. Thank you, PGCE teachers. May I request the PGCE and Nursery Training Batch 2019-20 to assemble on stage. We have also been carving out dedicated programs for in-service training of teachers. Multiple schools within Chennai and from outside Chennai have undergone this tailor-made program spread generally over a few months. These dedicated programs can either be designed for weekends or during school holidays. These programs, backed by robust assessments, have had great impact on the participants, upskilling them significantly. I now invite Srimati Beena, Headmistress Nursery, whose team was instrumental in shaping nursery teacher training program, to share a few words. Thank you. Over to Beena, ma'am.
Namaste. The nursery teaching training program was launched in the year 2017-18. We embarked on this project with a vision to impart holistic training to the aspirants and to propel their teaching career in the best possible way. The training program integrates practical training along with theory sessions that are tailor-made to best suit the age group kindergarten caters to. What happens in kindergarten classroom lasts a lifetime, and the nursery teacher dons many roles to inspire and leave a positive impact in the child's mind. The curriculum of nursery teacher training prepares the aspirants to fit into the role of nursery teacher perfectly. The program encompasses topics such as holistic development of a child, child safety and protection, language development in early childhood, first aid, food and nutrition, storytelling, to name a few. It gives me immense pleasure in sharing that we completed 3 batches of the program, and the placement record of the passed out trainee teachers stands testimony of our success of the program. Many teachers are now part of our DAV family, and others are well placed in reputed institutions. I now call upon Dr. Padma, Dean, Academic Research and E-Siksha, who has been a strong guiding force to throw light on the successful in-house publication. Thank you and namaste.
Namaste everyone. The textbooks and the pedagogy that the spirit of the textbooks convey is a powerful transformational tool. It helps the young minds to metamorphose into adulthood. Hence, it is our bounden duty to see that the textbooks have the quality to work on the children's affective domain along with the cognitive and the psychomotor domain, so that we have a world of intelligent, empathetic, progressive, contemporary individuals rooted in Indian values. DAV Shikshanam has come out with the project of creating high-quality textbooks to help the present-day children understand the Indic culture, the relevance of the Vedic values even today, and to provide all of these at an affordable cost. I request the team of teachers who have contributed to the nursery textbooks to come on stage. Singing of rhymes is the most memorable of anyone's nursery lives. Our rhymes are multilingual to help children unconsciously understand the plurality of our society. We have rhymes in all South Indian languages and also in Gujarati, Bengali, Assamese, Punjabi, to name a few other languages. Our children do not sing, rain, rain, go away. We understand that we are an agricultural nation and we need an abundance of rainfall for a bountiful harvest. Our children always sing, Mare, Mare, Va, Va. Thank you, nursery teachers. And we also help them get in sync with the present day values of fuel conservation and saving water. The books are also contemporary in that. We deem it an honor to request Sri S.K. Aryaji to receive a copy of our nursery books from Srimati N. Beena, the head of the nursery section and a key contributor to the content. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, nursery team, for making the children ready to learn. I request the contributors to Kalakriti, a series of art books for classes 1 to 8, and the teachers who prepared the content to make computer literacy possible for students of classes 3 to 8, to please come on stage. We believe that every child is an artist and should be given room for expression. Our art book series Kalakriti for classes 1 to 8 has an abundance of scope for the same. We have given children an insight into folk art like Wali, Gond art, Pichwai, Kerala mural, to contemporary art like doodling too. We help children build rootedness in Indian culture by depicting Indian festivals and also nurture in them a patriotic spirit through arts. While children learn our art forms and artistic way of thinking, we want them to be equipped for present day living too. With computers and its applications being a part of our living, our children, by the time they are into class 9, would have a good working knowledge of MS Office and also have artistic capabilities in Tux Paint and few other software used for artistic expression. Our computer science textbooks are available as e-copies on our website. It is indeed an honor to request Sri Vinay Arya ji to accept a copy of our Kalakriti book series from Mr. Chakalingam, Mrs. Mahalakshmi and Mrs. Swati Balaji, the key contributors. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. Thank you, art teachers and computer science teachers, for trying to bring out the creativity in children and also for making them world ready. May I request the teachers who have made Ganitam World of Mathematics series possible to come on stage. Mathematics give us the solace that every solution has a problem. To give an insight to the children about our rootedness in sciences like mathematics and astronomy, we have placed Vedic mathematics in a strategic location in our Ganitam series. Our subsequent books on the series for classes 4 and 5 would have a detailed content on Vedic mathematics. We believe that culture and values are an integral part of all subjects. While being rooted in the Indian values, we also help children understand the present day problems and be a part of its solution. Mathematics was always thought to be away from art forms, but our textbooks emphasize on play-based, arts-integrated teaching and learning wherever possible to make it easier and interesting for children. We have drawing, coloring, music, theatre and junk art as a part of mathematics learning. Experiential learning involves planning for simple activities like being observant of oneself and the surroundings, pondering over the relevant, and also in learning culinary skills. We have also tried to include experiences that would bring out entrepreneurial and leadership skills in children. Life skills like saving, which includes values like saving to serve, are also introduced through mathematics. Social skills like empathizing and developing hobbies to make life interesting are also introduced. Integrated learning of subjects has been conceptualized and implemented. Knowing the country, migratory habits of birds, facts on rivers like Ganga and Godavari, understanding of and applying unity in diversity are a few samples of integrated learning introduced in our textbooks. It is indeed a privilege to request Shri Bhupendra Rastagi ji to accept a copy. It is indeed our privilege. Right. It is indeed a privilege to request Srimati Poonam Anand ji to accept a copy of our Ganitam, World of Mathematics, from Srimati S. Charumati, the lead contributor and the headmistress of DAV Girls Senior Secondary School, Gopalapuram. Thank you, ma'ams. Thank you, Ganitam teachers, for trying to bring mathematics close to the heart of children. Teachers strive to make the world a Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam. May I now request the teachers who have contributed to creating the textbook that would make it possible to come on stage. Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, We Our World, is an integrated environmental studies textbook that would bring out the best from children. Learning by doing, where we give students a QR code to understand the execution of instructions and experience remote places like Kalapani, are a few highlights of the textbook. We have given students a scope for experimentation and extrapolative thinking by formulating activities that would help them develop their research skills. Arts is an integral part of everyone's thinking. Developing cognition through arts is interesting for both the teacher and the taught. We have a sample of it on the screen. Environmental studies also involves development of social skills. What could be a better way to do it than observing ourselves and the world around to appreciate the differences and understand the similarities? Enrichment is going beyond what is prescribed for that age to find out how much more a child of a particular age can travel. It challenges every child to reach his or her fullest potential in all three domains of learning: cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Thank you, teachers, for making an effort to make Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam a dream that we can chase. We feel honored to request Acharya Vachonidhi ji to receive a copy of our Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, We Our World, from Srimati Swarnakarpagavalli Prabhakaran, Headmistress, DAV Boys Senior Secondary School, Gopalapuram. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Vedic Agnihotra is an integral part of our school's activities. Children are taught the mantras from the 4 Vedas along with their meanings. Since the meanings are understood, the performance of Havan every day becomes more of a thoughtful, integrated process in our mind than a ritual. Each child has a book that he or she can go through at any point in time to get their doubts clarified on Vedic mantras. It is our pride to invite Sri Prakash Arya ji to receive a copy of Vedic Agnihotra from Sri Arulmozhi ji, who has co-compiled the book. Thank you, sirs. Fostering Vedic values. Fostering Vedic values for classes 1 to 10 is the jewel in the crown of all our publications. It is a series of books on spirituality, Vedic values for day-to-day thought, word and action, understanding issues encountered in daily living and solutions for the same. It gives us an insight into social reformers like Swami Dayananda Saraswati, who gave the clarion call back to the Vedas. Inculcating patriotism includes getting inspired by our unsung heroes and great patriots, knowing the lives of heroes at our borders, knowing the Indian military history, understanding Indo-China border issues, and a lot more. The purpose of these books is to help the children understand Indic culture, the Vedic values, and root themselves in Indian values and get inspired to serve the nation for a better tomorrow. We consider it an honor to request Sri Suresh Chandra Agarwal ji to receive a copy of the series Fostering Vedic Values from Sri Vikas Arya ji, Secretary Tamil Nadu Arya Samaj Educational Society, and also the author of the book series. Thank you, sirs. May I request the E-Siksha team to come on stage. E-Siksha is an online initiative to reach the remotest parts of the country with standard academic content delivered by our senior teachers and recorded at our own studios. The purpose of this endeavor is to provide affordable academic content to anyone who desires to have it. The recordings are available on our website and also on YouTube. We have the content for 12th Business Studies, Accountancy, 10th Standard Biology, Hindi, Tamil, Sanskrit, to name a few subjects. The encouragement of parents and the participation of children in online classes during COVID has motivated us to work on it with more enthusiasm and vigor to reach the nook and corners of the country. Thank you, teachers, for making it possible. Our learning tree, which is seen in all our books, says it all. It is also seen on screen now. We want our students to get rooted in our culture, values, knowledge, humaneness, ethics, exhibit perseverance and self-control in their behavior so that they reap the 21st century skills of 5 C's and problem solving. We look forward to working with parents and the community as a team of providing high quality, value-based, affordable education.
In line with this thought of innovative, socially relevant practices for the cause of education and humanity, I request Mrs. Nandini, Principal, Secondary School, Mogapere, the lead for the Pragya magazine, to elaborate on the project. Thank you all. Namaste.
Namaste everyone. Pragya, the monthly news magazine for children, presents the latest international and national current affairs from an unbiased and objective viewpoint. The magazine also features articles about developments in science, technology, defense sectors, and those that reflect the greatness of our nation, bringing home to the students the lesser known wonders of Bharat, the unsung heroes of the freedom struggle, and the legacy they have left behind. It also features Curiosity Corner and Sudoku puzzles to keep the young minds engaged and thinking. Pragya is supported by the collective endeavor of our teacher contributors drawn from DAV group of schools and also a team of highly experienced independent contributors who share our collective vision of mentoring young minds into socially responsible and well-informed citizens of India and the world. Every month, the contributors write articles on designated events happening at the national and international levels. We have in our editorial team Shri Nandakumar ji and Srimati Mali Nandakumar, who as educators bring with them rich experiences from around the globe. Shri Guha Prasad is the technical editor. The e-version is shared with students every month and the print version is available for a very nominal subscription. The magazine is also available in our website, which comes with a quiz. We request your support in this venture where we strive to present news and perspectives as it should be. The complimentary copies of Pragya magazine is available at the help desk and we request you to please feel free to reach out for your copy. I now invite Srimati Mallika Sridhar, Dean Academic Partnerships, to take over the proceedings. Namaste and thank you. I now request Shri Vikas Arya ji to please hand over the magazines to our chief guest.
Namaste from Mallika Sridhar. Drawing upon 50 years of experience in the field of education, DAV management felt that time is ripe to share some of our best practices with other schools across the country that share similar values and vision. Thus, DAV launched the Academic Associate model in December 2020 as a service-oriented initiative to provide advisory services to schools across the country. We are happy and proud to share with you that in our 18 months of this wonderful journey, we are hand-holding 11 schools in 11 different districts of Tamil Nadu. We also give support and guidance to a few schools in Assam, Nagaland, and Madhya Pradesh. Before I elaborate further, let me request the associate school teacher mentors of academic year 2021-22 to come onto the stage. May I also request Dr. P. Ravi, Dean, NIOS Institutional Outreach, and Mr. Nandakumar, Key Advisor, both of who have been key pillars of support to this initiative, to join as well. The flagship feature of our associate school program is the focused teacher support groups, subject-wise and level-wise. These groups are created with an experienced teacher mentor from DAV and their parallel teachers from associate schools. For example, all English teachers of primary will be in one group with a mentor from DAV. Similarly, all mathematics teachers of classes 6 to 8 will be in one group with a mentor from DAV. This way, we had 27 subject groups last year. This year, we are expanding this to 31 groups, including applied mathematics, arts and crafts, sports and yoga, and library. Interaction within these groups are through periodical online meetings and dynamic support of the mentor through the WhatsApp groups. Literally, the teachers of associate schools have dynamic day-to-day access to our mentors. Our mentors help our associate schools improve efficiencies and enhance the overall learning experience for students by sharing inputs on curriculum, academic year plan, syllabus, teaching learning methods, assessment tools, question paper setting, Pragya Olympiad examination, co-scholastic activities, etc. on regular basis. One of the key features of this program is conducting professional development program for the teachers of associate schools by DAV mentors and senior resource persons. In May 2021, we conducted online teacher training program with 150 sessions for around 250 teachers. In May 2022, we held overall 240 sessions for 350 teachers. DAV assessment system, that is question papers of all the examination and of all the classes, are shared with the associate schools. Also, our online testing platforms for Pragya Olympiad examination and NEET JEE periodical tests and examination are extended to the students of associate schools. As part of achieving a robust educational administration system, DAV shares the best practices in administration, HR and IT by providing the standard operating procedures manuals. Impact visits to these associate schools are done by DAV at least once in a year. This involves a 2-day camp by our team and observation of every aspect of school functioning in detail. A comprehensive feedback is then shared with the school. Our mentors, through all these continuous interactions, special sessions, monthly online meetings, student sessions, and professional development programs, could make remarkable positive impact on nearly 300 teachers of associate schools, and in turn touching the lives of 12,000 students approximately. Our sincere thanks to all our mentors who are truly the torch bearers of this program. Thank you so much. This mentorship model also helps our mentors to realize their leadership qualities and enhance their professional skill sets. We are confident that in the days to come, with all your support, we can achieve deeper impact and scale greater heights. Namaste and thank you.
Thank you. May I now request Shri S.K. Arya ji, our esteemed chief guest, to address the august audience.
S.K. Arya ji, please.
Respected Suresh Agarwal ji, President Sarvadeshi Karya Pratinidhi Sabha, Shri Vinay Parekh ji, President Tamil Nadu Arya Samaj Education Society, Shri Ravi Malhotra ji, Managing Trustee, Trust Board and Vice President Governing Board, TNA-ES, members of the TNA-ES and Arya Samaj, teachers, alumni, students and members of the staff of this esteemed institution. Namaste to all of you. It's my privilege to be invited as the chief guest for the Golden Jubilee celebrations of DAV Group Schools as well as the inaugural Havan of DAV School Pallikarnai. It is indeed a very special and proud moment for all of us as members of this expanding DAV family. I congratulate each one of you present here and uncountable others who are not present but yet who have contributed in making this institution what it is today. There are two important celebrations we are kicking off in the next 2 years. 200 years of Maharshi Dayanand's birth in 1824 and 150 years of Arya Samaj Foundation in 1875. Both the celebrations pertain to key incidents in the life of Maharshi Dayanand. Here, I would like to narrate that Swamiji instructed his followers not to construct any samadhi of his after his death. His disciples, while following his instructions, instead founded the DAV, Dayanand Anglo-Vedic School. Thus, DAV was born as a tribute to Maharshi Dayanand. It created an education system that combined modern education with our ancient value system. It created an alternative to the British school system that was aligned to serve imperialist interest. The DAV movement, most of its schools and colleges being in western Punjab of undivided India, was nurtured by the selfless service of many. Most notable among them being Mahatma Hansraj and Gurudutt Vidyarthi. During partition, most of the schools and colleges of DAV were left in Pakistan. People who were running and managing these institutions became refugees overnight, leaving their homes and belongings in Pakistan. For all practical reasons, the movement was wiped out even before its 75th year. But human passion and spirit has no boundaries or limitations. These refugees not only took charge of their own lives after partition, but got on to once again recreate the magic of DAV. That DAV which is celebrating its 50th year while India celebrates 75 years of independence. And to have done that in Chennai is even more special and courageous because this region remained largely untouched by the Arya Samaj movement. I therefore salute the courage, the tenacity and foresightedness of the founders, led by late Sri Jaydev ji. What started with a handful of students under a banyan tree in 1970 has grown like a banyan tree to become a network of schools with over 40,000 students in 50 years. Golden Jubilee of any organization is very special. It is celebration of the relevance of purpose and success of an organization. Normally, the founders are not around when organizations celebrate Golden Jubilees. Hence, this occasion is also an acknowledgement of the legacy being carried forward effectively. Turning the leaf to the present, this is my observation on how this legacy is being carried forward. Today, I understand that the most of the management of the school is comprising of its alumni. This is a matter of immense pride for any educational institution. DAV has consistently delivered academic excellence and is rated among the top schools in the country. Last week, nearly 15,000 students got added to the DAV network with not only the inauguration of this campus, but also the integration of BHEL schools in Trichy into its network. It is hard to beat this growth. In addition, it is heartening to note that DAV has successfully ventured in multiple new dimensions of service to the society, be it teacher development program, vocational training programs, or the Gurukul that has been set up last December. And one more feather in the cap will be the Vedic Vidya Kendra, the foundation stone of which is being laid tomorrow in Puducherry. It is difficult to find a more meaningful way to celebrate Golden Jubilee than this. I congratulate once again the entire management and executive team for having made this happen and wish you all the very best. On this occasion, I see DAV and Arya Samaj Chennai holding the promise of far greater impact in days to come. This institution combines value-based education with modern education. With it spreading its wings through the associate school program, I foresee DAV to be delivering impact at a national or even international stage in the years to come. The teacher development program holds immense promise to shape the education system much beyond the boundaries of DAV. The Gurukul that has been set up, I hope, will develop into a unique model of ancient education system that prepares students to lead the world. The Vedic Vidya Kendra in Puducherry will become a national center for Vedic learning, both for adults as well as the students. I believe that the 21st century belongs to India. You are truly the architects of that dream because you are shaping the generation that will turn this into reality. I pray for success of DAV Chennai, not for its own sake, but for the sake of the return of the promise India was to the world and what it should be. Jai Hind and Namaste. Namaste.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Shri Lalit Nangia ji, President Arya Samaj Foundation, to speak a few words on this auspicious occasion.
Namaste everyone. Respected Chief Guest of the occasion, Sri S.K. Arya ji, Sri Suresh Agarwal ji, Acharya Vachonidhi ji, Sri Vinay Arya ji, Sri Prakash Arya ji, other dignitaries of Arya Samaj from all over India, Sri Vinay Parak ji, President of the Tamil Nadu Arya Samaj Education Society, members of the governing body and other members of the Tamil Nadu Arya Samaj Education Society, principals and teachers present and past, and staff of all the DAV schools, members of Arya Samaj and my dear friends. Ask anyone from among the alumni of the DAV group of schools about their fond memories of school life. Along with other things like excellent teaching and other academic matters, what you will surely hear about is the regular practice of performing the Agnihotra. This practice has impressed upon the psyche of most students because it creates an ambience of spirituality in the school, and this is so helpful in an institution of learning. This takes our thoughts back to the early days of the Arya Samaj movement. The founder, Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati, had realized that a social transformation was required to bring about a resurgence of Vedic values and instill a sense of national pride. An effective catalyst for such a transformation is meaningful education, which combines Vedic values with the spirit of science, rationality, and humanism. With this aim, the leaders of the movement went about the task of setting up schools, which went by the name of Dayanand Anglo-Vedic schools or DAV schools, as well as Gurukuls, which helped not only to preserve the traditional cultural heritage, but also to kindle in the students' minds the spirit of patriotism and love of their motherland to the extent that they evolved into highly motivated patriots. Two such motivated brothers, Sri Satyadev ji and Sri Jayadev ji, arrived in Madras in the mid-1940s to earn a livelihood and move on in life. They located in Arya Samaj and immediately got involved in its activities. Eager to broaden their area of activity, they looked for a new place and found one in Gopalapuram. The rest, as they say, is history. With the support of well-wishers, philanthropists and educationists, the most prominent of whom are featured in the history wall at the entrance of the school building, they founded and developed the DAV group of schools into a formidable institution. Sri Satyadev ji passed away in the early stages of development, but Sri Jayadev ji, in the true spirit of the Arya Samaj movement, and ably assisted by Sri Ram Kalia ji in the academic and administrative role, strove on, and the result is an institution which has made a name for itself not just in Tamil Nadu, but in the entire country. The baton has now passed on to the next generation. We are fortunate that we still have a motivated team of members both in the Arya Samaj and DAV schools. Some members of the old guard continue to serve in the governing body and provide valuable advice and guidance. And there is also young blood, many of whom are past pupils of DAV, who are not only updated with the latest in technology and management systems, but also well versed in spiritual matters. Ample evidence of this was obvious during the pandemic, when no stone was unturned to conduct the online classes is as efficient as a manner as possible. With everything in place, the future looks promising. And on this momentous occasion of the Golden Jubilee celebrations, on behalf of the Arya Samaj Foundation, I congratulate all members of the management, the academic and the administrative faculty and students, and wish them all the best in their future endeavors. We are also fortunate to have among us a galaxy of luminaries of Arya Samaj from all over the country, and this makes the occasion even more momentous. Many thanks to them for gracing the occasion. Best wishes to all. Namaste.
Namaste to all. This marks the end of our formal program. I know we have stretched about 35-40 minutes beyond our limit, and I guess I am the main culprit. My sincere apologies for that. I would request, we also have amongst our midst the grandson of Balkrishna Joshi ji. Rajesh sir, are you there? Just wish to acknowledge your presence. I know he was there, maybe he has left. So now we will end this particular program now. The dinner is also open, but please, there is a cultural program as well from the students. And they are prepared for it for last 1.5 weeks and spent hours on it. It's about 7:30 now. There are exactly 6 programs, 6 small cultural programs, each about 7 to 8 minutes duration. It should take about 45 minutes, right? 45 to 50 minutes. My request is that all the teachers, please be seated. kindly do not leave the premises now. The special invitees over here, if you wish to kind of, pick your dinner and then come back, then that's also fine, right? The cultural program will go on now. I once again repeat, my humble request is that all the teachers, the current staff members of the DAV group of schools, kindly be seated. Other special invitees, if you really need to leave, then please do have dinner and go. The dinner counters are open. And if you can stay back, I think that's great. The children will definitely be encouraged if they see the hall reasonably full. Thank you so much. So, the dinner is inside the school premises where we had the Agnihotra in the evening. So over there, dinner is arranged. But I would request no one to leave without having dinner. I think in about 40-45 minutes, by about 8:15 is not generally too late, but I understand it's a little hot over here. Request if you can stay here and encourage the children who from different campuses, different branches are over here to give an excellent performance. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Well, as sir said, with that we have come to the end of the official program and we are about to commence the most eagerly awaited segment, the culturals. We humbly request first the dignitaries to occupy the seats reserved in the front row in the audience for the cultural fiesta to be presented by the boys and girls of the DAV group of schools. The first two rows of the audience, please. DAV imparts value-based quality education at affordable prices. If academics happens to be its backbone, extracurricular activities are the lifeblood. We wish to promote a harmonious and holistic development of all our students, and today they are all set to showcase their talents. We promise you 50 minutes of mesmerizing and scintillating performance by our children. So sit back and enjoy. If a sneak preview can be given, there are actually 6 programs. 2 representing our rich cultural heritage, a classical dance recital and a play on Bhagat Singh. 2 on spirituality, Vedic chanting by Gurukul students, and a skit on Pancha Mahayagya. A mellifluous medley on patriotic songs. And last but not the least, an amazing display of valor, the martial arts, Malkham and Silambam. So sit back and enjoy. The former staff are revered, respected, special invitees of today. In case you are leaving, you are humbly requested to collect the mementos, the gifts before you leave the premises. Thank you.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். கைவழி நயனம் செல்ல, கண் வழி மனமும் செல்ல, மனம் வழி பாவமும், பாவ வழி ரசமும் சேர, நிகழ்த்த பெறும் பரத கலையுடன் குச்சிப்புடியையும் கதக்கையும் கலந்து உலக புகழ் பெற்ற சித்தார் கலைஞர் பண்டித ரவிசங்கர் பூமி தாயை போற்றி பாடியுள்ள பூமி மங்கலம் பாடலுக்கு நடனமாட வருகின்றனர் DAV செகண்டரி ஸ்கூல் மற்றும் DAV கேர்ள்ஸ் சீனியர் செகண்டரி ஸ்கூல் முகப்பேர் மாணவியர்கள். வாருங்கள்,
கண்டுகளிப்போம்.
गगनमङ्गलं सूर्यमङ्गलं
Thank you, children. That was truly wonderful. Before we proceed ahead, there's a request from our side. The teachers who are seated at the back, even the parents who are seated at the back, please come forward. You can occupy the seats which are still empty over here. प्रोग्राम को आगे बढ़ाते हुए आपने तो पूरे वातावरण को ही मंगलमय करके रखा हुआ है. फर्स्ट परफॉर्मेंस वाज इंडीड वंडरफुल. अब आगे जाते हैं. वेदों की गूंज भारतीय संस्कृति की सत्ता है. अब सस्वर वेद पाठ करने के लिए हम बुलाना चाहेंगे गुरुकुल के बच्चों को. आप भली भांति जानते हैं कि वेदों की परंपरा प्राचीन है. इसे यथावत सुरक्षित रखना हो तो सस्वर गाना है. सस्वर का तात्पर्य होता है कि इन मंत्रों में लगे उदात्त, अनुदात्त और स्वरित स्वरों के साथ उसका उच्चारण करना है. वेद मंत्रों से चमत्कारिक शक्ति का बोध होता है. यही शक्ति सामान्य इंसान को विशेष बना देती है. Over to Gurukul children for a divine experience.
अग्निमीळ पुरोहितं यज्ञस्य देवमृत्विजम् होतारं रत्नधातमम् अग्निः पूर्वेभिर्ऋषिभिर्यो नूतनैरुता स देवाङ्गेह वक्षते अग्निना रयिमष्णभत्पोषमेव दिवे दिवे यशसं वीरवत्तमम् अग्नेयै यज्ञमध्वरं विश्वतः परिभूरसि स यद्देवेषु गच्छते अग्निर्होता कविक्रतुः सत्यश्चित्रश्रवस्तमः देवो देवेभिरागमत यदङ्गदाशुषे त्वमग्ने भद्रं करिष्यसे तवेतत्सत्यमङ्गिरः उपत्वाग्ने दिवे दिवे दोषावस्तद्धिया वयम् नमो वरन्दवेमसे राजन्तमध्वराणां गोपामृतस्य देदिविं वर्धमानं स्वेदने स नः पितेव सूनवेग्ने सोपायनो भव स च स्वानस्वस्तये ॐ श्रद्धयाग्निः समिद्यते श्रद्धया आहूयते हविः श्रद्धां भगस्य मूर्धनि वचसा वेदयामसे प्रियं श्रद्धे ददत प्रियं श्रद्धे दिदासतः प्रियं मोदेषु यज्वस्विदं महोदितं कृते यथा देवा असुरेषु श्रद्धामुग्रेषु चक्रिरे एवं मोदेषु यज्वस्वस्माकमुदितं कृते श्रद्धां देवाय जमानाभायुगो उपासते श्रद्धां विधय्या अयाकोत्या श्रद्धया विन्दते वसु श्रद्धां प्रातर्हवामहे श्रद्धां मध्यं दिनं परे श्रद्धां सूर्यस्य निमृते श्रद्धे श्रद्धापये हनः ॐ ये त्रे शक्ता पारयन्ते विश्वा सुमयश्रुतम् इहैवाभिवितानो वे आर्त्ने इव ज्यया वाचस्पतिर्नियच्छतु मय्येव सुमयश्रुतम् उपाहूतो वाचस्पतिरुपास्मान् वाचस्पतिर्वयताम् संश्रुतेनागमे महिमा श्रुतेन विराजिते
बहुत खूब बच्चे, दैट वॉज ट्रूली अ डिवाइन रेंडिशन। अगला कार्यक्रम प्रस्तुत करने के लिए आपके सामने आ रहे हैं डीएवी बॉयज सीनियर सेकेंडरी स्कूल गोपालपुरम के छात्र। वो एक झांकी प्रस्तुत करेंगे शहीद भगत सिंह की जिंदगी पर। बच्चों, क्या आप जानते हैं आप ही की तरह अमर शहीद भगत सिंह डीएवी स्कूल लाहौर के छात्र थे और उनके संपूर्ण परिवार ने आर्य समाज के विचार को अपना लिया था। अमर शहीद भगत सिंह ने साबित कर दिया था कि जीवित रहने की ख्वाहिश कुदरती तौर पर होनी तो चाहिए और इन्हें छिपाना भी नहीं चाहिए, पर जीवित रहने का बस एक ही शर्त है, कैद होकर या पावन होकर जीना अर्थहीन है। स्वतंत्र रूप से जीने में ही जीवन का रस छिपा है। उनकी दिलेरी और शहादत को नमन करने आ रहे हैं हमारे बॉयज फ्रॉम गोपालपुरम स्कूल।
प्रणाम दादाजी।
जीते रहो बेटे।
अब क्या हाल है अर्जुन जी?
2 साल हो गए जेल से छूटने के बाद मेरा बेटा स्वर्ण सिंह चल बसा। दूसरे बेटे अजीत सिंह पर 22 मुकदमे चल रहे हैं। देश सेवा के लिए उसकी जरूरत है, इसलिए मैंने जबरन उसे देश से बाहर ईरान भेजा है। उसे देखने का मौका कब मिलेगा ईश्वर ही जाने।
फिक्र मत कीजिए अर्जुन जी, सब ठीक हो जाएगा। भगत बेटे, हाथ में क्या है?
काकाश्री, ये बंदूकें हैं। मैं बंदूकें बेच रहा हूँ।
बंदूकें बेचते हो?
हाँ काकाश्री, दादाजी ने कहा है कि किसान लोग हमारे अन्नदाता है, जो खेत में बीज बोकर अनाज उगाते हैं। मैं तो भारत की मिट्टी में गोलियां उगाऊंगा और अंग्रेजों को भारत से भगा दूंगा।
वाह, अमर रहो भगत सिंह। एक और शेर तैयार हो रहा है अर्जुन जी। अब बच्चे को हाई स्कूल भेजना है ना? लाहौर के खालसा हाई स्कूल में भर्ती करा देंगे।
अंग्रेजों के स्कूल में मेरा पोता? नहीं नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं। मेरा पोता तो आर्य समाज की ज्योति, समाज सुधारक, ज्ञानदायक स्वामी दयानंद सरस्वती के लाहौर डीएवी स्कूल में ही पढ़ेगा। पता है आपको, भगत सिंह ने अंग्रेज सरकार से दी गई पुस्तकों को आग में जला दिया। चलो भगत, जाएंगे।
डीएवी में ही पढ़ूंगा।
Azad bhai, I cannot take it anymore. Thousands of our people were massacred in Jallianwala Bagh, and what did we do? Nothing. Not anymore. I swore to free my people at the age of 12. Since that day, I have been carrying the blood-soaked soil of Jallianwala Bagh in my fist. Did you hear? After the Chauri Chaura massacre, they have withdrawn the non-cooperation movement. I will not sit and watch while my people are being crushed like worms in my land. I will make these invaders pay for each and every drop of blood that they have spilt in this sacred land.
हाँ भगत, हर हिंदुस्तानी के रगों रगों में देशभक्ति का खून दौड़ाना है। भगत, घर में तेरी शादी की बात हो रही है।
शादी? इसलिए मैं घर छोड़ के आ गया। My life has been dedicated to the noblest cause, that is the freedom of my country. My bride shall be my death.
Mere words and slogans don't bring in revolutions for our country. Actions do. The British are bringing in the Simon Commission and not even a single Indian in it. We will not support this. We will not allow this. Punjab Kesri Lala Lajpat Rai is organizing a protest. Simon, go back. As the members of Hindustan Republican Association, we will support him. We do not need British mercy to breathe in our own land.
हाँ आजाद भैया, आजादी बातचीत से नहीं मिलती. आजादी के लिए इनकलाब चाहिए और इनकलाब के लिए कुर्बानी की जरूरत है. पूरे हिंदुस्तान को जगाना है. इनकलाब जिंदाबाद.
Bhagat, yourself, Sukhdev and Rajguru assassinated the British officer John Saunders to avenge Lalaji's death. Sukhdev and Rajguru have been arrested, but this event has not brought that impact what we expected. Something has to be done to draw the attention of the whole nation.
Yes, I have decided to throw bombs in the Central Legislative Assembly to protest against the British government in India. This time, we should not escape. Instead, we will surrender ourselves.
Surrender ourselves? Bhagat, what do you mean?
Yes, Bhatukeshwar, our arrest will create a stir in the people's minds. A nationwide revolution will explode. Enough of this maximum suffering and sacrifice in order to achieve liberty. It is blood alone that can pay the price of freedom.
Yes, Bhagat, you're right. I will also be with you. This event would be an opportunity for liberating our motherland from the British yoke.
Yes, Bhatukeshwar, it should inspire the revolutionaries' determination. जेल में भी मैं आजाद रहूंगा. मैं अपनी जिंदगी हमारे वतन के हवाले रख चुका हूं. इनकलाब जिंदाबाद. The trial ended on 30th September 1930. The public prosecutor has completed his examination. Would you like to have an advocate? No, my lord. I would like to argue my own case. According to the famous jurist Solomon, one should not be punished for his criminal offense if his aim is not against law. We had submitted a written statement in the Sessions Court which explains our aims and intentions. From a legal point of view also, our motive is of special importance. The 2 bombs we threw in the assembly did not harm anybody, physically or economically. Here, I would like to remind you all of the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. General Dyer resorted to firing and kill hundreds of people, innocent, unarmed people. But the military court, it did not order for him to be shot. Instead, it gave him lakhs of rupees as an award. My friend Bhatukeshwar Dutt and myself, we offer ourselves for arrest. My lord, we have not come before you to get our sentences reduced. We have come here to clarify our position. Freedom is not given, it is taken. The question of punishment is of secondary importance before us. Long live the revolution! Down with imperialism! Inqilab Zindabad!
Order, order. Based on all the evidences proved, it is concluded by this honorable court that the 3 accused, Bhagat Singh, Rajguru and Sukhdev, are guilty of criminal conspiracy, that is, they are involved in the assassination of the British police officer John Saunders, and the accused Bhagat Singh is also guilty of the other 3 offences, namely bombardment in the Central Legislative Assembly, manufacturing of bombs against British government in India, and disruption of peace and disciplinary environment of the prison premises by leading hunger strike for 116 days, demanding equal political rights for the prisoners. The 3 accused are sentenced to death on 24th March 1931. I will not be hung like a criminal. I will be shot like a warrior, hanged to death. मैं मरूंगा नहीं. हर हिंदुस्तानी माता के खोख में से करोड़ों भगत सिंहों के रूप में मैं फिर से जन्म लूंगा. मेरी जन्मभूमि आजादी की सांस लेगी. वह दिन दूर नहीं है. इनकलाब जिंदाबाद.
मेरे वतन के लोगों, जरा जो शहीद हुए हैं उनकी जरा याद करो कुर्बानी, तुम भूल न जाओ उनको, इसलिए कही ये कहानी, जो शहीद हुए हैं उनकी जरा याद करो कुर्बानी। जय हिंद जय हिंद जय हिंद की सेना, जय हिंद जय हिंद जय हिंद की सेना, जय हिंद जय हिंद जय हिंद जय हिंद
बहुत खुश, शाबाश बच्चे, आपने तो हमारे रोंगटे ही खड़े कर दिए और इतिहास को हमारे आंखों के सामने लाकर खड़ा कर दिया। कहते हैं अनेकता में एकता ही हमारी शान है, इसीलिए मेरा भारत महान है। एक व्यक्ति के अंदर अपने देश के लिए सेवा भाव और निष्ठा की भावना तथा देश के प्रति सम्मान, देशभक्ति को ही तो प्रदर्शित करता है। हर फूल की इच्छा होती है कि वो वीरों के चरणों में समर्पित हो, फूलों से माला बनती है। यहाँ देशभक्ति गीत रूपी फूलों की माला बनाने आ रहे हैं डीएवी हायर सेकेंडरी स्कूल गिल नगर के छात्र छात्राएं। अ मेडली ऑफ पेट्रियाटिक सॉन्ग्स, सिंग इट अलोंग।
உரமாக்கி உதித்த சரித்திரம் நம் சுதந்திரம். வந்தே மாதரம். நன்றி குழந்தைகளே. தென்புலத்தார் தெய்வம் விருந்தொக்கல் தான் என்றாங்கு ஐம்புலத்தாறு ஓம்பல் தலை. மறைந்தோரை நினைவு கூர்தல், தெய்வம் போற்றல், விருந்தோம்பல், சுற்றம் பேணல், தன்னை நிலைப்படுத்திக் கொள்ளல் என்னும் ஐவகை அறநெறிகளும் இல்வாழ்விற்கு உரியனவாம் என வள்ளுவர் வரையறுத்ததை பறைசாற்ற வருகின்றனர் கேர்ள்ஸ் சீனியர் செகண்டரி ஸ்கூல் கோபாலபுரம் மாணவியர். பஞ்சமகா யஜ்ஞம் இதோ உங்களுக்காக.
जन्मना जायते शूद्रः संस्कारात् द्विज उच्यते वेदपाठात् भवेत् विप्रः ब्रह्म जानाति ब्राह्मणः. We are all born equal and have equal rights to everything that the Almighty has created. Man has created boundaries based on caste, gender, economic status, etc. Namaste and a very warm welcome to everyone. Vedic culture has survived thousands of centuries of change because of its inherent self-sustaining strength. That is the reason why 750 crore people across the globe can practically follow it in their everyday lives. Vedic way of life implies Pancha Mahayagna. As per the Vedas, there are 5 types of yajnas or rituals that one should perform on a daily basis. If Sanatana Dharma is alive and in practice today, it is because of the contributions made by rishis and acharyas Swami Virjanand ji and Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati ji, who gave the clarion call back to the Vedas.
अध्यापनं ब्रह्मयज्ञ पितृयज्ञस्तु तर्पणम् होमो दैवो बलिर्भौतो नृयज्ञोतिथिपूजनम् पञ्चैतान्यो महायज्ञान् नहापयति शक्तितः सगृहेऽपि वसन्नित्यम् सूनादोषैर्न लिप्यते.
Brahma Yajna. Brahma Yajna is meditation. We should meditate every day for at least 10 minutes, both morning and evening. Before meditation, one should practice pranayama, bahya pranayama and abhyantara pranayama. Prana is the link between the mind and the soul. This increases your level of concentration. How does one meditate? There are 3 phases during meditation: Stuti, Prarthana and Upasana. In Stuti, we think about diverse qualities of the one formless God. In Prarthana, we pray to the Almighty primarily for good intellect which helps us take the right decisions. Remember, we all take thousands of decisions every single day. Indeed, our life is the cumulative effect of these innumerable decisions that we have taken right since our childhood. Upasana is about communion or our internal sense of love and deep respect for the Almighty. During meditation or Brahma Yajna, we slowly and silently chant a few mantras, internalizing their meaning without letting any other thought arise in our mind.
हिरण्यगर्भसमवर्तताग्रे भूतस्य जातः पतिरेक आसीत् सदा आधार पृथिवीं द्यामुते मां कस्मै देवाय हविषा आविदेम. समिदाग्निं दुवस्यता घृतैर्वो ओदयतातिथिम् अस्मिन् हव्याजुहोतना.
Devayagna. Devayagna means Agnihotra. Just as the brilliance of the flames emanating from the Agnihotra is a witness of its capabilities to transform the Havan ingredients without keeping any of the original material for itself, so shall we remain ever so proactive to remove all our negative values and evil desires to dispense generous services for the betterment of this world.
गृहपतिर्नो अग्निः सायं सायं सोमनसस्य दाता वसोर्वसोर्वसुधान एधीन्दाना स्वाशतं हि मारुदेम अग्नये स्वाहा इदमग्नये इदन्न मम ॐ सोमाय स्वाहा इदं सोमाय इदन्न मम ॐ प्रजापतये स्वाहा इदं प्रजापतये इदन्न मम ॐ इन्द्राय स्वाहा इदमिन्द्राय इदन्न मम
जीते जी ही होता है सच्चा श्राद्ध बुजुर्गों का। तन मन धन लगाकर पालो आशीर्वाद बुजुर्गों का। पितृ यज्ञ है नित्य कर्म, यह श्रद्धा सहित समर्पण है। पितर रहे संतुष्ट सदा, सच्चे अर्थों में तर्पण है। आज्ञा पालन ही सहदेव है, सच्चा पूजन पितरों का घर खुशियों से भर देता है आशीर्वाद बुजुर्गों का। The word pitra means our parents and elders. Our scriptures say Matru Devo Bhava, Pitra Devo Bhava, meaning mother and father are worthy of reverence. Therefore, it is the duty of everyone to have genuine respect and gratitude for their elders. The fulfillment of this duty is Pitra Yagya.
नमो ओ वः पितरो रसाय नमो ओ वः पितरशोषाय नमो ओ वः पितरो जीवाय नमो ओ वः पितरस्वदायै नमो ओ वः पितरो घोराय नमो ओ वः पितरो मन्यवे नमो ओ वः पितरः पितरो नमो ओ वो गृहाणः पितरो दत्तसतो वः पितरो देश्मै तद्वः पितरो वासाः
விருந்தோம்பல் தம் வீட்டுக்கு வரும் விருந்தினரை முகமலர்ச்சியோடு வரவேற்று உண்ண உணவும் இருக்க இடமும் கொடுத்து அன்பு பாராட்டுவதே விருந்தோம்பல். முன்பின் அறியாத புதியவர்களுக்கே விருந்தினர் என்று பெயர். விருந்தே புதுமை என்று தொல்காப்பியர் கூறியுள்ளார். திருவள்ளுவர் மோப்பக்குழையும் அனிச்சம் முகந்திருந்து நோக்கக்குழையும் விருந்து என்ற குறளில் அனிச்ச மலரை முகர்ந்து பார்த்தாலே வாடிவிடும். அதுபோல விருந்தினரை முகம் வேறுபட்டு பார்த்தாலே வாடிவிடுவர் என்கிறார். உணவோடு உணர்வையும் குழைத்து செய்த சமையல் விருந்தாகிறது. வயிற்றுக்கு சோறிட வேண்டும் இங்கு வாழும் மனிதருக்கெல்லாம் என்ற பாரதியின் கூற்றுப்படி பசித்து வருவோருக்கு உணவளித்து பசி இல்லா உலகை காண்போம்.
स्वयमेनमभ्युदेत्य ब्रूयाद् क्वा वासीर्व्रात्यो ओदकं व्रात्य तर्पयन्तु व्रात्य यथा आते प्रियं तथा आस्तु व्रात्य यथा आते वशस्तथा आस्तु व्रात्य यथा आते निकामस्तथा स्विति
Baliveshwadeva Yagya. Compassion to fellow creatures is the underlying principle behind this yagya. It is our foremost duty to take care of animals and all other creatures in this universe. In the olden days, making rangoli patterns in front of the house was done with rice flour. This would attract ants who would feed on them. Crows were served a fistful of cooked rice each morning. Cows would be fed with grass and water. Children have to be taught that it is our duty to include animals and birds as a part of our larger family and have empathy for them.
पुनन्तु मा देवजना पुनन्तु मनसादियाः पुनन्तु विश्वा आहूतानि जातवेदः पुनिः मा स्वाहा ॐ अहरहर बलिमित्ते हरन्तोष्वा एव तिष्ठते घासमग्ने रायस्पोषे एन समिषा मदन्तो माते अग्ने प्रतिवेशार्षामा.
Thus, these 5 Mahayagnas change the relationship of the individual with the entire humankind as well as the animal kingdom. The ultimate success of the 5 great duties will lead us to Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means universe is one family. Anybody, regardless of race, religion, creed or gender, can subscribe to this noble ideal that identifies, combines and disciplines humans within a society. This is indeed the dharma of humankind. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha.
ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्.
உலகெங்கும் இன்று வேத கலாச்சாரத்தின் சிறப்பு அறியப்பட்டு போற்றப்படுகிறது. இது பாராட்டப்பட வேண்டிய அம்சம். நன்றி குழந்தைகளே. எதிரி எவ்வளவு பெரியவர் என்பது முக்கியமல்ல, எதிர்த்து நிற்கும் திறன் எவ்வளவு பெரியது என்பதே முக்கியம். தமிழர் தம் வீரக்கலையான மல்லர் கம்பம் கலையை சிலம்ப கலையுடன் வழங்க வருகின்றனர் டிஏவி பாய்ஸ் சீனியர் செகண்டரி ஸ்கூல் முகப்பேர் மாணவர்கள். ஆடுகளம் புகுவோம், வாருங்கள். சிலம்பம். சிலம்பம் தமிழர்களின் வீரத்தின் அடையாளம், பண்பாட்டு சின்னம், கலாச்சார புதையல். மலைப்பகுதிகளில் அருவி விழும் ஓசை, இலைகள் காற்றில் அசையும் ஓசை, இவை நாற்றிசையும் ஒலித்துக் கொண்டே இருப்பதால் மலைக்கு சிலம்பம் என்ற பெயரும் உண்டு. ஆம், கம்பு சுழலும் போது ஏற்படும் ஓசையுடன் ஆயுதங்கள் ஒன்றோடொன்று மோதும் ஓசையும் இணைந்து கேட்பதால் தமிழர்களின் தற்காப்பு கலைக்கு சிலம்பம் என பெயரிட்டனர். சித்திரம் பேசும் சிங்கக்கலை, படியை வணங்கும் தமிழர் கலை, வீரத்தை சொல்லும் தற்காப்பு கலை, ஆச்சாரம் கற்பிக்கும் ஆயுதக்கலை, நாங்கள் போற்றும் சிலம்பக்கலை. தொடர்வது மல்லர் கம்பம்.
जटाम्बुजङ्गपुङ्गमालिकां ढमड्ढमड्ढमड्ढमन्निनादमड्ढमर्वयं चकार चण्डताण्डवं तनोतु नः शिव शिवं शिवं जटाकटाः सम्भ्रम भ्रमन्निलिम्पनिर्जरी विलोलवीचिवल्लरी विराजमानमूर्धनि धगद्धगद्धगज्ज्वलल्ललाटमट्टभावके किशोरचन्द्रशेखरे रतिप्रदक्षिणं मम धराधरेन्द्रनन्दिनी विलासबन्धुबन्धुरा स्फुरद्दिगन्तसन्तति प्रमोदमान मानसे कृपाकटाक्षधोरणी निरुद्धदुर्धरापदि क्वचिद्दिगम्बरे मनो विनोदमेतु वस्तुनि जटाभुजङ्गपिङ्गळस्फुरद्फणामणि प्रवाहदम्बकुङ्कुमद्रव प्रलिप्यति त्वदूमुखे मदन्तसिन्दुरस्फुरत्पगुत्तरीय मेदुरे मनो विनोदमद्भुतं विबद्धु भूतकन्धरी ॐ नमः शिवाय शिवं भजाम्यहं सदा शिवं भजाम्यहम् ॐ नमः शिवाय सहस्रलोचनं प्रवृत्य शेषलेखशङ्करं रसूलधूलिधोरणी धूसराङ्गिपीठं भुजङ्गराजमालया निबद्धजाटचूटक श्रियै चिराय जायतां च घोरबन्धुशेखर धनञ्जय स्फुलिङ्गभाविगीतपञ्चसायकं नमन्निलिम्बनायकं सुधामयूखलेखया विराजमानशेखरं महाकपालि सम्पदे शिरोजटारमास्तुता करालभालभट्टिकादलद्धगद्धगज्ज्वलद्धरञ्जयाहुतीकृत प्रचण्ड पञ्चसायके हराधरेन्द्रनन्दिनी कुचाग्रचित्रभद्रकर कल्पनैकशिल्पिनी त्रिलोचने रतिर्मम नवीनमेघमण्डली निरुद्धदुर्धरस्फुरद्भूनिशीतिनी तमप्रबन्धबद्धकन्धर निलिम्बनिर्झरीधरस्तनोतु कृत्तिसिन्धुरधरानिधानबन्धुर श्रियं जगद्गुरन्धर प्रफुल्लनीलपङ्कज प्रपञ्चकारिमप्रभावलं विकण्टकन्दली रुचिप्रबद्धकन्दरं स्मरच्चिदं पुरच्चिदं भवच्चिदं मखच्चिदं गजच्चिदान्तकच्चिदं तमन्तकच्चिदं भजे अखर्व सर्वमङ्गला कलाकदम्बमञ्जरी रसप्रवाहमाधुरी विजृम्भणा मधुव्रतं स्मरान्तकं पुरान्तकं भवान्तकं मखान्तकं गजान्तकान्तकान्तकं तमन्तकान्तकं भजे प्रचण्डताण्डव शिव त्रिशक्तिचक्रकल्पयोर्भुजङ्गमौक्तिकस्रजोधरिष्ठरत्नलोष्टयोः सुहृद्विभक्षपक्षयोर्धरणारविन्दचक्षुषो प्रजामहि महेन्द्रयोः समप्रवृत्तिवत्कदा सदा शिवं व्रजाम्यहम् कदानि लिम्बनिर्झरी निकुञ्जकोटरे वसन्ति मुग्धदुर्मते सदा शिरस्तमञ्जलिं वहन्ति लोललोललोचनोललामबालनन्दका शिवेति मन्त्रमुच्चरन् कदा समीपमाम्यहम् नित्यमेव मुक्तमुत्तमोत्तमं स्तवं पठन् स्मरन् ध्रुवन्दरो विशुद्धिमेति सन्ततं हरे गुरौ सुभक्तिमाशु याति नान्यथा गतिं विमोहनं विदेहिनां सुशङ्करस्य विमोहनं विदेहिनां सुशङ्करस्य चिन्तनम् जलप्रवाहपावितस्थले घरेवलम्ब्य लम्बिताम्बुजङ्गमालिका ढमड्ढमड्ढमन्निनादमड्ढमर्वयं चकार चण्डताण्डवं तनोतु नः शिव शिवं शिवं शिवम् जटाकटाः सम्भ्रमभ्रमन्निलिम्बनिर्झरी विलोलवीचिवल्लरी विराजमानमोहनज्वलल्ललाटपट्टपावके किशोरचन्द्रशेखरे रतिप्रदक्षिणं मम
Simply awesome, isn't it? A spectacular, a fantastic show. Heartiest congratulations to all our budding talents. What do you say, audience? Can we have a bigger round of applause, please? Thank you so very much. Children, can you hear that? Well done, children. Thank you, audience. It's now time to draw curtain on today's grand gala celebrations. But we would be grossly failing in our duties if we don't thank those whose luminous presence has made this day a great success. Most humbly, I now request Shri Rajiv Chaudhary ji, Senior Board Member, to propose the vote of thanks.
Namaste everyone. A Golden Jubilee is not just about the one day that we celebrate, which is today. It is really the culmination of 50 years of tireless effort and dedication of a great many people. So our foremost and deepest gratitude to our visionary founders and exceptional leaders who made this day possible for us 50 years later. A special thanks to our donors who have contributed generously over the years and continue to do so. Thank you so much. A big call out for our principals, our teachers and staff who have through the years been the true torchbearers of the DAV culture and excellence. A special thank you to our former teachers who have also joined us this evening. I'm going to pause here. A big round of applause everybody for all these principals, teachers, former teachers. What a great contribution they make every day. To our Arya Samaj members and the executive committee who selflessly continue to support the institution and remain true representatives of Arya Samaj purpose. Likewise, the governing body and the members of the Tamil Nadu Arya Samaj Educational Society for their immense support throughout. Our Honorary Secretary, Vikas ji, and his executive team, including our consultants who are more like partners. I'll pause again, a big round of applause. Thank you. Alumni who contribute every day, and a special shout out to the executive team of the Department of Alumni Affairs who are always there to volunteer their time and effort, including for this event. Our thanks to our chief guest of the evening, S.K. Arya ji, and other guests of honor Suresh Chandra ji, Acharya Vachonidhi ji, Vinay Arya ji, Prakash Arya ji, and other dignitaries who have traveled long distances to spend this evening with us. Thank you very much. A big shout out and thank you to the school children who with such dedication and sincerity have rehearsed this wonderful cultural program. Truly brings out the spirit of nationalism and touches in the sparkle of spirituality and reminds us who we are. Thank you children, what a wonderful job. Thank you teachers who coordinated this lovely cultural program for us. Thanks for today to the event managers of this evening, the team of F5, which is Lalit, Bhutra, Men at Work, Narinder Singh, Sharan Singh, Caterer, Keshavan, and all the other vendor agencies and suppliers. And a special thank you to our sculptor, Jayaprakash ji, for the bust and the mementos that they created. Thank you. A big thank you to our Pallikarne project team, Manjunath ji and his wonderful lieutenants who have done a brilliant job of delivering this large, lovely complex in exactly 1 year. I think it's quite a feat. Thank you, Manjunath ji. Thanks to the representatives of our academic associate schools who have taken the time to be here with us and celebrate with us today. Thank you. It was above everything else, as some of the others said, it was wonderful to see the entire DAV family gathered here together. I think after the challenges that we've had over the last 2 years, and importantly, of course, we've always had our individual school staff dinners, but what a lovely vibration, what a lovely feeling to have everybody together in one place, and I think that is the big achievement for today. A thank you to all of you for being here. Thank you to everyone, to your family members, and to be a part of this celebration and your presence here today. We hope we have more opportunities to get together and celebrate again in the near future. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now request you all to rise for the national anthem, to be rendered by our students from the Pallikarnai branch.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
We request the audience to remain seated till the dignitaries leave. Thank you all for gracing this occasion. It was a pleasure indeed hosting all of you.